Hello and welcome back to another episode of Becoming an Online Sales Queen. And in today's episode, we're going to talk about riding the roller coaster revenue. And roller coasters are meant to be fun, right? We went to Thorpe Park last year and I'm kind of regretting that we did it because now my son just wants to go bigger and better. He wants the bigger roller coaster, the faster roller coaster. And me and my husband were feeling sick even on the small ones. So wish me luck with that. But today we're not talking about real roller coasters. We're talking about that feeling you get when your business doesn't feel safe, it doesn't feel certain, it doesn't feel consistent. And there is nothing worse than looking into your bank account and knowing that payments have come to an end and there's a big fat gaping hole where your secure revenue needs to be. And so it feels like it's up and down and up and down and up and down like a roller coaster. I know the feeling because I've been there. And I also know what it was that shifted me out of that feeling. Okay. And so that's what I want to talk about in today's episode, how to get off the revenue roller coaster, because it is not fun and it does kind of make you feel a little bit sick. So I love the analogy. So let's first talk about what causes the roller coaster, what causes the up and down. I think it's a misconception that revenue that is up and down, inconsistent clients, inconsistent leads, I think it's a misconception that that is all about you being inconsistent, that your energy is up and down, that your determination is up and down, that your motivation is not there. I don't think it's always because of that. What I see happening, and I have this conversation regularly, is that inconsistent revenue often comes down to the offers that you have set up in your business. And so to make your revenue consistent, you need to make your payments consistent. And so what that indicates is that if your payments are inconsistent, there's either not enough clients or the offer that the clients are booking and buying from you is one-off. So one-off, let's say strategy calls, one-off sessions, one-off fixes, build a website, one-off projects, like one-off services. And where your revenue needs to move to for it to feel consistent and less like a roller coaster and more recurring. Yeah, I'm going to get into that in a minute. For your revenue to feel more consistent, you need to sell offers where there are monthly payments. And I know that that brings up a whole load of concern for you because I think there's a lot of people been brainwashed that the only way to build your business is on pay in full. Get the cash in the bank. Then you don't have to worry about payment plans. Then you don't have to worry about people defaulting on a payment plan. And I know that payment plans do bring a little bit of nervousness because there are people out there who sign up for programs and don't fully commit to the contract. They want to unsubscribe. They want to report you to PayPal. I've had clients, luckily, touch wood, I've not really had to experience that, but I've had many clients who have. And so they end up feeling very nervous and very cautious about payment plans. However, without payment plans, you can't really build sustainable long-term recurring revenue. And so if what attracted you to listening to this episode is that we're talking about how to shift away from roller coaster revenue, shift away from up and down and that feeling of anxiety when your bank account hasn't got enough cash in it to pay you or your team, we don't want that feeling. But if the alternative is that you then just move into anxiety about payment plans, well, then that's not that helpful, is it? So I want to now talk about what are the things that you could do in your business right now that would lead to recurring revenue? Now, the most obvious thing for me and what's worked really well for me and for my clients is monthly payments for a group coaching program. So moving into a membership model, maybe moving into a group coaching model, maybe launching your first mastermind. I've helped hundreds of girls to develop their first group. And I know it feels scary. I know when you're first thinking about a group, you've got the bright lights and the promise of recurring revenue, and that feels really, really good. But you've also then got the nervousness around, could I really build out a curriculum? Could I support a group? Will my group clients get transformation? Will I be able to enroll enough people to make my group an actual group? I know that group brings a little bit of uncertainty, but without a group program, with recurring payments that stack and scale month on month, you're kind of forced to build a business around offers that maybe you're flip-flopping a little bit. Yeah, maybe you're already doing some group programs, but they're like 2 week or 3 week or 4 week. They're like short cohorts rather than long-term evergreen. Yeah. And so what you're forced to do then, if you've got short cohorts, is you're forced to launch. And launching in itself is an emotional roller coaster. Yeah. Not only does launching bring about inconsistent income, it also brings about inconsistent energy. So, what I really want you to ask yourself is, what is the most important thing to me right now? What is the feeling that you're looking to have around your business? Don't think about the strategy for a minute. Just think about, how do I want to feel? And if what you're aiming to feel is about peace and calm and being in control, if it's a feeling of certainty, a feeling of inevitability around where that income is coming from, because that makes you feel safe that you're not going to have to go back and get a job. Yeah, I'm sure once you've had a taste of running your business, you want that as a definite, like, definitely the better feeling over and above having a 9 to 5. I can't imagine like being told when to take a lunch break or being told I can't take my holiday on that week. God, yeah, that would be awful. Like, once you've had a taste of freedom, you definitely don't want to go back to that. But I want you to get clear on, how do you want your business to feel? And if it is safety, certainty, reliability, consistency, then the best move that you could make would be to build out a group program that is 6 months or longer. Okay. Now, the reason I say 6 months is because 3 months flies by, right? Like, if you've ever run a 12-week program, you'll know that by the time it started, it's ended. It's like literally flies by. And so 6 months to give a big, meaningful transformation so that you and your clients can really get to know each other. You can really get into detail, giving them the transformation that they came for. I think 6 months is a really, really good length of program to aim for. And I remember when I first did my 6 month program, and my mentor at the time said, I think you should offer a 12-month option as well at the checkout. And I was like, well, girls do get to the end of 6 months and stay, so I can see why she's recommending that. But I didn't, in my heart of hearts, think that anybody would actually book for 12 months. And the first person that, the next person that joined the program joined for 12 months. So I was definitely proved wrong that people would come and join for 12 months because, again, they want that feeling of safety and certainty as well. I think we're all really looking for that, aren't we? They don't want to go from mentor to mentor to mentor to mentor. They want to have one person by their side who really understands the challenge, the problem, and knows how to get them to the solution, and isn't going to rush them through a 12-week program where they're going to feel left behind and maybe even stop showing up to calls. So I think we're all looking for that feeling of safety and certainty. So the best thing that you could do right now would be to think about, how could you package up your knowledge into a membership, into a mastermind, into a group coaching program with a clear promise, a very tangible outcome, a very tangible transformation, and be able to work hard on the messaging to make sure that your messaging is anchored into the type of person that your client becomes once they've been through your program, once they've followed your methodology. Yeah, like the messaging around the program, the messaging around the way that you articulate the problem, the solution, your method, how you get them there, what it feels like inside the program. You've got to be able to really communicate that in a powerful, potent way. And then, of course, offering a pay in full and a payment plan option. Yeah, I would never say just offer payment plans because, you want the monthly recurring revenue, therefore don't invite pay in fulls, because some people want to pay in full. I am a pay in full person. When I've joined anything before, I pay in full. I want my energy and my commitment to be all in at the beginning. And I'm not saying that it's wrong for anybody not to do that, but that's just how I personally like to do it. I like to just, both feet are in there. I'm like fully immersed. And if, the only way for you to join a program is to do payment plan, then, great, do it. But yeah, I do like a pay in full. So I wanted to get clear on what your group program would be about. How would you powerfully message that? And what would the payment options be? What would be the price for your pay in full? And what would be the price for the payment plan? And then if you want some support doing that, then this is exactly what I teach. Yeah. So inside my mastermind, I am teaching how to build an evergreen group and an evergreen sales funnel to sell it on repeat. That is my jam. That is totally what I do. But if you are maybe not ready to join the mastermind and you're not ready to be working with me every single week, maybe what you just want to do is come and join my Scale with Groups 3-day coaching experience, whereby I am going to teach you how to build a group, how to price and message your group, and how to market and sell the group. It's a free experience. I'll pop the link below this episode for you. And I would love you to come and join us. I'm going to be delivering it inside a private Facebook group. And we've decided today, this is a today decision, that I'm going to give away £30,000 worth of coaching vouchers. So that feels very exciting to be able to help people take a step into a mentorship package. And obviously, you may not be ready to use it straight away, and that's absolutely fine. But yeah, that's what we've decided today, that and we've got over 86, I think 87 people registered already. It's going to be a really high vibe, high frequency group. And I'm going to teach you exactly what you need to do to build and sell your group program. And the reason I'm doing that is because I want you to have recurring revenue. I want you to be able to enjoy your business. I want you to be able to see a pathway, a clear pathway to the freedom and the choice that you want to have in your business. And I know that selling things one by one, selling an hour here and a package there and a retainer there and a 2-hour session there and a VIP day there, I know that when it gets to the end of that month, yes, you've hustled and yes, you've made money and well done. That is amazing. But if you start the next month with zero, that's not good for your nervous system. It's not good for your mindset, because you're always then in a state of hustle, and that doesn't feel good. So this decision to shift away from roller coaster revenue and into recurring revenue, it really comes down to that feeling of, how do you really want to feel in your business? If you want to feel consistent, you want to feel calm, then I promise you a group program is the easiest way to achieve that feeling and build and stack and scale your revenue as well. Okay. So I'm going to leave it here for this episode this week and leave you to come and ask me whatever questions you've got. I love it when you reach out to me, on Instagram. It literally lights up my soul that you drive along in your car listening to this show and feel so comfortable with me to reach out in the DMs. It literally means the world to me. So yeah, don't hold back. If you've got a question about groups, maybe you've already been running a group for a while, but you don't have the sales engine to sell it. Maybe you've been running a group for a while and you've noticed that people aren't getting results as fast as they used to. I am an expert in curriculum design. So if you have a question, if you want to reach out to me about that, then please do. But I hope that you've enjoyed this episode. If you know a girl in business who wants to build and sell a group, and maybe she hasn't heard of this podcast, please do share this episode with her. And of course, don't forget to like and subscribe as well. I'll see you next week for another episode of Becoming an Online Sales Queen.